Swaminiti Namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe.
Jai Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar Radhe.
Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe.
Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar Radhe.
Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Jai Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki, Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada Ki. Nitai Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe.
Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita.
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki, Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada Ki. Nitai Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Harinam Sankirtan Yagna Ki. So on this auspicious occasion of Akshaya Tritiya, we just heard wonderful kirtan. Now there is another form of kirtan, which is to hear about the significance of the festival and how to celebrate these festivals. So for this, I request His Grace Sadananda Prabhu, the Temple President of India Heritage Foundation, Boston, and the MIT Vaishnava Hindu Chaplain, to come and enlighten us on this special occasion.
Hare Krishna. So welcome each one of you to this wonderful festival of Akshaya Tritiya. We will spend some time in understanding what is the spiritual significance of Akshaya Tritiya and see how we can apply some of these principles in our lives. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay, it's coming, it's coming. Very nice. Let's start with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto the supermost human being, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So, on this auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, first of all, I would like to say congratulations to all of you that you have decided to come to the temple on a Saturday evening to celebrate Akshaya Tritiya. And it says the most auspicious day for new beginnings. My question to all of you, or maybe for all of us to think, is what is the real significance of Akshaya Tritiya? What do you think? Is there any answer for this? What do you think is the real significance of Akshaya Tritiya? Anybody knows anything about Akshaya Tritiya? Okay, that's right. That's correct answer. Anything else? Anybody knows? Parshuram Jayanti. Very nice. Yeah, today is the day when Lord Parshuram appeared. Very good. Well, you have done some studies or you are aware. That's very nice. Yeah, that's correct. How many of you are coming here for the first time? Anybody who's coming for the first time? Both of you. Three of you. Okay. What is your name? Harish? Yours? Manisha? Pratyusha. Are you three related or no? Two are related. And okay, you're coming with her. You're also coming for the first time. Yeah, what is your name? Kumar. Can we have a loud Haribol for all of them? So welcome to this temple. Yeah, you are right. Two of those things that you said is correct. Anybody else? Anything that you know about Akshaya Tritiya? Shrey seems to have some answer. No? Yeah, Sudama pastime also happened on this day. Sudama actually reached, he met Krishna on this day of Akshaya Tritiya. Okay, good. Very happy. I'm surprised nobody told about this. How many of you do this or have you done this? Buying gold on Akshaya Tritiya? Wow. बहुत लेट में उठा, बहुत कम खरीदा लग रहा है, ज़्यादा नहीं लिया. Okay. Yeah, people often buy gold, right? And why do they buy gold? क्यों खरीद? Kar Lakshmi is not good Lakshmi. So, but do you buy or you offer? What do you use it? Yeah, the reason why people buy gold is because it is told if you buy, if you do anything auspicious, or if you invest on something like gold, Akshaya, there'll be no Kshaya, there'll be no diminution. So you'll keep having more and more gold, or you'll keep having more wealth and prosperity. But as you all know, in Bhagavatam it is described, Kali sits in 4 places. Gold and okay. Animal slaughterhouse, yeah. The 4 regulative principles. So one you said is correct, gambling. The other one is animal slaughter. Then gold, okay. Which are the other 2? Drinking, who said drinking? Yeah, drinking, intoxication, yeah. And then the last one? Illicit sex. Okay, so when Kali asked for a place of residence, Maharaj Parikshit said, these are the 4 places you can stay in my kingdom, where there is animal slaughter, where there is meat, where there is gambling, where there is drinking or intoxication and illicit sex. But actually in the kingdom of Parikshit there was no such place. He said, Maharaj Parikshit, what are you saying? I mean, you are giving me compassion or you are punishing me? Because there is no such place. Where will I go and stay? And he said, okay, stay where there is gold. And what people do? They buy gold. Right. It's very important to know, as you know, I was asking in the beginning, what is the significance of Akshaya Tritiya? And some of you answered correctly that there is the Sudama pastime which happened. Parsuram appeared on this day. There is also Ganga, which was brought down to material earth by Bhagirath. That's why his name is Bhagirathi. I mean, the name of Ganga is Bhagirathi. But there are less known pastimes. There are less known spiritual significance of the day Akshaya Tritiya. Some of them I can just quickly highlight, and we will go into something very, very powerful. The one in the center, I will start with this. Anybody wants to guess? I will not ask too many these things, but Kumbh Mela? No. Priests are there, yeah. What are they wearing? By what they are wearing, you can make out. Where are they from? Not dhoti. Upar dekho. It's from Puri. Actually, they start the Ratha. Ratha work starts on this day, Akshaya Tritiya. So they go and find some trees which have got so many criterias. No bird's nest should be there. No snake hole should be there, and some such things. And they find out, and apparently the work for the chariot starts on this day of Akshaya Tritiya. Okay. Anybody else? Any other picture looks familiar? Which one? Bhadrachalam. Yeah. Simhachalam. Correct. Simhachalam. What is this? That's the right answer. If you don't know, it's a very interesting thing to know. On the day of Akshaya Tritiya, which is about 11 days or 12 days from Narsimha Jayanti, the Lord is made to take bath. There is an abhishekam which is performed, and you can see the Lord without the sandal pulp on this day only. And again in the night he is put sandal pulp. Throughout the day, throughout the year he'll be with sandal pulp. Only on this day, Akshaya Tritiya, he is bathed and he is free of the sandal pulp. Okay, anything else? Badri, oh, you've been to Badri? Very nice. So Badri, darshan for Badri opens on Akshaya Tritiya day. Because of the winter and snow, they close the darshan for normal pilgrims during the winter time, and again it reopens during this on this day of Akshaya Tritiya. Anything else anybody knows? Anybody who's from Tamil Nadu? Okay, this place is Kumbakonam. So in Kumbakonam there are some wonderful temples of the Lord, very beautiful temples. There are 12 Vishnu temples where they do a Garuda Sheva. So the Garuda is the Bahana of the Lord, which is also known as Vainateya, and the wings of Garuda is considered to be the Vedic literatures, the Angas of Veda. So when the Garuda flaps its wings, it's considered very auspicious. So there are 12 Vishnu temples, where they bring the deities on procession on Garuda Bahana. It's a very auspicious day. If you happen to be there in Kumbakonam, visit this. It's a very, very popular event. Anybody can guess this, will get some extra sweet. Who said Gopinath? Which Gopinath? Gopinath, there are many Gopinaths. Extra sweet, we have very nice sweet today. You can answer. It will be wrong, that's okay. You may not get, you'll still get sweet. Just that extra is not there. Who wants to go for it? Vrindavan DT? No. Who said Kshirachora Gopinath? Okay, my God, you got extra sweet today. So this is this is Kshirachora Gopinath, which is there in Remuna in Balasore, in Orissa. We know from Chaitanya Charitamrita the wonderful pastime of Madhavendra Puri. When he was traveling back from Orissa, carrying the sandalwood this thing with him to Vrindavan, it was very heavy for him. So the Lord said, if you apply the sandalwood the pulp on me, on my body in Gopinath, I will receive it in Vrindavan. So he applied this. So there are deities of Madan Mohan, there is Gopinath, and there is one more deity. So 3 deities, they are all applied sandalwood pulp on this day of Akshaya Tritiya. So far so good. Now there is a less known thing about Akshaya Tritiya related to ISKCON. Anybody wants to take a guess? This is going to be double extra sweet. You've already got extra sweet, but you can carry home if you answer. No. Mataji will get double extra sweet today. That's the right answer. Actually, on this day, Prabhupada had established the League of Devotee, because it is considered very auspicious. Many temples, have their inauguration and opening on the day of Akshaya Tritiya. So these are some of the significance of the festival Akshaya Tritiya. Let me ask you this question to all of you, having come here to the temple. What do you want to pray today? What do you want to pray? I mean, what do you want to pray for? Pray to anything. What is your prayer for the prayer to the Lord today on this day? What do you really want to pray Him? General happiness, peace. Okay. Engage in your service. Okay. Giving some gold and allowing us to wear after offering. I'm happy and thankful to the Lord. Okay. Okay. No, grateful for everything that the Lord. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, that's even far superior. Okay. What else? Politically correct answer, not correct answer, actually what is going on, everything you can say, no issues. Whatever it is, it's fine. He said happiness and peace, which is probably all of us, many of us will be thinking, right? Any other prayers that you have? It's an auspicious day. We should ask something which is going to last forever. Akshaya Tritiya. You know, in the Vedic literatures, they say there are 3 auspicious days, as per some of the karma kandas in these portions. One is Akshaya Tritiya, one is Vijayadasami, and the other one is Ugadi, which we celebrated. They are auspicious days. What do you really want to do? What do you want to pray today? Kumar? Hmm? Hmm. Happiness for the world you started with, right? Very nice. That's a... Hmm. Hmm. Okay. 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 Very nice. Right. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. Anybody else? Chaitanya, what are you praying for? Good grades. So blessings should sell through and happen complete. Okay. Any random thoughts? Whatever is not covered or anything. Seshu, yeah. Good health. Okay. Huh? General well-being. Yeah. All are very nice. Let us just understand from the scriptures for a moment as to what exactly we should pray and why we should pray what we should pray. What is it that can make the whole difference in our life? So, to understand this, I would like all of you to pay attention because this is the theme. You know what is the use of this instrument called compass? How does it help us? Right. We may have some subjective understanding about the world based on our upbringing, based on what we are exposed to, based on what we have been fed. We think this is how I am supposed to live my life. And the subjectivity about the world may differ from people to people. Somebody may think I'm supposed to work for peace. Somebody may think I'll work for some material prosperity. I'll have something else. We have different perceptions about how our life should be led. So what we think is probably there is no objectivity in life. There is no objective truth. Whatever is correct, I can live life the way I want. You can live life the way you want. Somebody else wants to live his life in another way. That is also fine. I come across this statement few months back. They say your truth and my truth. Maybe that is your truth. You want to enjoy like that? No, go ahead. That's good for you. My truth is my truth. I will come and so that is good. You want to worship? You can worship. I will enjoy my life. I will live life the way I want to. No bar, no restriction, no this thing. That's how I will live. But the compass in life, what it does is, it takes us from the place where we are to the place where we should go to. There is an objectivity which is brought when we have the compass because it actually says this is north, this is south. There is no subjectivity in this. You can't say, as per you, this is north, as per me, this is south. You go ahead with your north, I'll go ahead with my north. We will go wherever we will reach. There is objectivity. Actually, there is objectivity about the absolute truth also in life. There is something which is absolute. We cannot, it's actually childish to say that, okay, your truth, my truth, we can differ and we can live life the way we want to. The compass of our life helps us to, put us in the right path, in the right track, and take us in a direction which is meant to take us to that final destination. often people who have not thought about a lot in life, they don't know what is the purpose of life. They think, how does it matter? Purpose of life, there is no clarity. So what they look for in life is called pursuit of consumption. They only look how I can get the next gratification, the next hit, or the next rush, the next flash, the next consumption. These are the words which are used by the millennials. I'm just looking for the next rush, the next consumption. If you want, Mataji, you can take them if they are not able to. Just a request. Next hit, or some kind of some that kind of an idea. I want some immediate titillation for my mind and senses or my body. As long as I'm getting that, I'm happy with that. This is the pursuit of most of the people who don't have a purpose in life. Okay, I got some instant gratification, what next? So they are consumed by this thought of more and more consumption. Say, what next, right? There is a very popular song which used to be there in our times, which I'm saying our times means maybe Chaitanya, I don't know if you, have you heard of Rolling Stones? Have you heard of, okay. There used to be a song by Rolling Stones, very famous song. I tried, I tried, I tried. 3 times he says, I tried, I tried, I tried. And despite trying, nothing is happening. You keep doing. There is another one which we used to. I remember one animation song where the animation or the caricature of a mango says mango, 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 and then mango, 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 mango. He just extends, he heightens the thing. Just mango, 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 mango. There's nothing actually, no matter how much you say mango, 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 mango is not going to come and satisfy your taste buds. It's not going to happen. But people are always busy. What next? Where can I get that next hit, the next rush, or the next consumption? That is what people are consumed with. That is what people are obsessed with. That's what people are busy with, because they don't have a clear goal, where to go, what to do in this human form of life. What makes them obsessed is, where am I going to get some next titillation for my body and senses? I want to talk about a very famous personality. He's an environmental scientist, and he was a dean in the Yale University, and then he has retired. He has done some significant research. His entire life is dedicated to all this research and findings about the different problems that somebody is mentioning, like world peace and things like that. What are the environmental problems that we are having? So he has made a quote which is extremely powerful, very powerful. Pay attention to this. So he says, I used to think the top environmental problems are biodiversity loss, ecosystems collapse, and climate change. That's what most of the environmental scientists talk about, right? The problems, the top environmental problems are biodiversity loss, ecosystems collapse, and climate change. Then he says that, where did it go? I thought that 30 years of good science, we could address those problems. And then he says, but I was wrong. And then he goes on to say, the top environmental problems are selfishness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with those, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation. We lawyers and scientists do not know how to do that. Think about this. Think about this statement that he's making. Usually we grapple with these problems that we come across in news or somewhere we it affects our life, like this biodiversity loss, ecosystem. Please put your mobiles on silent. Please take your children if they are not able to sit here properly, because that will disturb not just you, others, and it will disturb the thought flow also. So I thought that the 30 years of good science, we could, if you take a moment and put your phone in silent, it will be very nice. So he says that these are the problems that we think of, but I was wrong, And the real problems are selfishness. People are so selfish in this world. They don't even bother what is going on in the next person's life. Obsessed with selfishness, greed, apathy. Maybe somebody else is suffering. How does it matter in my life? And as per this environmental scientists, to deal with this, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation. We lawyers and scientists do not know how to do that. All of you who have come here, I would recommend, there is a very nice BBC documentary which was made maybe a few years back, and the documentary was called The Century of the Self. What is the documentary called? You can go back and see. It's a 4-part series. It's a 4-part series made by BBC. The Century of the Self. Very, very powerful documentary. Very interesting documentary. What it says is, what it does is, it analyzes the people's thinking individually and collectively as a society for last 100 years. How the evolution of thinking has happened for human beings over 100 years individually and collectively as a society. And he says the conclusion of that video, the documentary is, it is a widely watched video. It says that surprisingly, unfortunately, the present age, people have come to this stage where they have concluded that whatever thoughts or desires or feelings that they are having, that should be fulfilled, is the topmost priority. So what is the topmost priority? The topmost priority is whatever desires I am getting, it should be fulfilled. That is what. And it was not the case earlier. This has evolved over a period of time where nowadays people are obsessed with self-importance compared to self-sacrifice. The idea of sacrifice is almost gone in people's lives. They have no idea, no understanding of what sacrifice is, why should they sacrifice. It has gone. It's only my opinion, my feelings, my desires. I should go and fulfill it at any cost. Now what is happening is, how many of you know about a person called Sigmund Freud? You've all heard of Freud. He's a very famous, somebody saying? Psychologist, but very good manipulator. Unfortunately, we don't track our history, how we have reached to our present stage of living, what has brought us to this stage. Sigmund Freud, what he has done, he has identified something that everybody in this material world has some void, has some lacuna, has some gap. They feel that I'm not satisfied, or I'm not, even if I'm looking for success, the so-called success I achieve, yet I'm not feeling that satisfaction inside. And this thing, very accurately, very nicely, it has been identified by Sigmund Freud. And what they say is, you indulge in materialism. The moment you indulge in materialism, that void that you're feeling, that emptiness that you're experiencing in the heart will be fulfilled. Example of this, there used to be an ad of Coke that we drink. Coke is it. What do you mean by Coke is it? Coke is it. Whatever, you're looking for that happiness, you're looking for something. They don't say, it's a very subtle way. The whole world, the material world around us it is so orchestrated, it is so manipulative. People spend money in advertisement to create that desire inside you. If you buy that product, you will be happy. And we fall for it. Because we don't know what a clear goal, what is the real destination of our life. So we look for immediate rush, something, I should do. Okay, maybe I should go for a vacation in the beach. You go there, you spend some time, then you come back, and then you again feel there is some void. Okay, I should go to a mountain, a snow mountain next time. Snow mountain, you go there, you do this thing, again, another snow mountain with a different location. This is how we have been fooled and we have been continuing our lives. So what is the solution? What do we ask? Pay attention. I mean, we have very less time to discuss some of these topics which are very profound. We have to pay attention. I need that attention and time. Unfortunately, we don't have both. So I'll go to some of the finer aspects which we need to focus as to what we should pray for, and the example that we should take in our life is from this wonderful episode in Bhagavatam, where you can see the mother Devahuti is seated at a lower position, and she is asking to her own son, who's an incarnation of the Lord by name Kapila. Now this is a very classic thing which we need to understand. To approach or to understand the absolute truth, there is a huge amount of humility which is required. Without humility, this truth will not be revealed to us, because Krishna himself says the process of the revelation of the truth in Bhagavad Gita, tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanenas tattvadarshina. Tad viddhi pranipatena. Pranipatena is one has to submissively come and inquire. That submission or that humility is a very important thing. Mother Devahuti, if you remember, there is one word which Bhagavatam uses, that I got solidly cheated by this material world. She uses the word, I got solidly cheated. So the moment you realize, because it happens to all of us, now we have 40, 50 years of our lives without having the exposure of spiritual knowledge, without really knowing what is the goal of life, we get also, we follow the herd, the mass mentality of, doing what other people are doing. Okay, he's going for that particular thing, let me also try and get that position, get that object, get this thing, and that will give me some happiness or satisfaction. That gives momentary happiness. Let's see what Devahuti is praying. You can repeat after me. Devahutir uvacha nirvinna nitaram bhuman asad indriya tarshanat yena sambhavyamanena prapannanandham tamah prabho. Very beautiful words, very, very nice words. Before asking Kapila Dev some important solution, she is telling her position. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman. Nirvinna. Nirvinna, the word is translated by Prabhupada as disgusted. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman. Oh my Lord, bhuman is referring to the Lord. Nitaram. I'm very disgusted with this material existence. Very disgusting. Nirvinna nitaram bhuman asad indriya tarshanat. Asad is sat is which is truth. Asad which is not truth. Indriya is our senses. Tarshana is the thirst, or the hankering that we having, incessant hankering. Asad indriya tarshanat. Nirvinya nitaram bhuman. Oh Lord, I'm completely disgusted with this, nirvinna nitaram bhuman asad indriya tarshanat, by this hankering, incessant hankering of this indriyas. Yena sambhavyamanena prapanna andham tamah prabho. Actually, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance, in the bottommost portion of the ignorance. So please help me. I am very sick of the disturbance caused by material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Actually, it is a very good realization. Sometimes we should pray like that. My Lord, what is happening? I mean, why am I suffering? Why am I being tormented by my uncontrolled mind, my uncontrolled senses which agitate me, which disturb me? What is the way out? Devahuti took this position of submission, knowing very well that her son is an elevated personality, the Lord himself, and said in a right opportune moment, oh Lord, please suggest me, what should I do? Give me some answer, give me some solution. I've been looking, unfortunately we don't even realize, because we think, what's wrong? Let me go for my gratification of my senses. That's all it is. Let me go for, if something is giving me a kick, that next hit, that next whatever, so-called happiness, by indulging, let me do it. We don't even see that there is a problem in that. But here Devahuti is telling, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Very wonderfully, this whole thing has been revealed in Bhagavatam, but I'll give you the solution immediately because we don't have a lot of time. You can repeat after me. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padamulam Me Pravisanti Akuto Bhayam. Very interesting words, very nice words. What Kapila Dev is telling. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padamulam Me Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. You need Jnana and Vairagya, transcendental knowledge as well as detachment. Detachment comes as a byproduct. These two things comes as a byproduct if somebody is engaging in Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha. Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padamulam Me. Padamulam is the lotus feet of the Lord. So the translation is the yogis equipped with transcendental knowledge and renunciation and engaged in devotional service for their eternal benefit take shelter of my lotus feet. And since I am the Lord, they are thus eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead without fear. One of the characteristics of people who are there in this material world, they are always fearful. Always anxieties. Kya hoga? What will happen? What will happen? My health, my children, my house, my parents, my relatives. What will I do? Always fear. They don't know how to live a fearless existence, how to have that. But here it is mentioned, Akuto Bhayam, Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padamulam Me. The yogis equipped with transcendental knowledge and renunciation and engaged in devotional service for their eternal benefit take shelter of my lotus feet. And since I am the Lord, they are thus eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead without fear. We sing that very famous song, that Vaishnava song. Bhajahure Mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanaravindare. O mind, O restless mind, O rascal mind, which Prabhupada uses. Bhajahure Mana Sri Nanda Nandana. O mind, engage in the service of Nanda Nandana. Why? Abhaya Charanaravindare. Because if you really want to become fearless, that Lord can give you fearlessness. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Padamulam Me Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. When we engage in the devotional service of the Lord by meditating on His lotus feet, we become fearless. And along with the engagement of this devotional service comes Jnana and Vairagya, transcendental knowledge and renunciation. Very, very important. Actually, these principles are not new. These principles are very nicely given in Bhagavad Gita. But as I said, unfortunately, our mind is obsessed with some different desires which are being produced by seeing some advertisements or this thing or that thing. And we are busy, preoccupied in satisfying those desires. Our life's pursuits just endlessly go on satisfying one desire after another, one desire after another. And we are not satisfied, yet we keep doing the chase. We don't give up the chase. This is nothing new because in Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned in the 6th chapter where Krishna says, Yam sannyasam iti prahur yogam tam vidhi pandava nahi asanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kashchana. Very nice verse. Yam sannyasam iti prahur yogam tam vidhi pandava. What is considered renunciation, sannyasam, yam sannyasam iti prahur yogam tam vidhi pandava. That is also the same as linking oneself to the Supreme Lord. Sannyasam is not about renouncing your material activities, but sannyasam or the renunciation is renouncing your material desires. What is called renunciation you should know to be the same as yoga or linking oneself with the Supreme, O son of Pandu. For one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desires for sense gratification. This is a very crucial thing. So what is considered to be sannyas, artificially whatever we know, somebody is carrying a danda or going around, that sannyas is same as linking oneself with the Supreme. That is basically nothing but engaging in devotional service. But the process of engagement of devotional service is one should be able to renounce the desires for sense gratification. Why one should renounce the desires for sense gratification? Or how can one renounce the desires for... I told to keep the mobile on silent. If you please do that, I'll be very grateful. One can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desires for sense gratification. So the desire for sense gratification only will go when you have transcendental knowledge. Otherwise it will not go. But for many of us who have been coming here for such a long time, We have heard this, that we should give up this material desire for sense gratification. But how many of you think honestly that it is very easy? I don't know if you heard the question. How many of you think it is very easy? Okay. So it is difficult. And there's a very nice conversation of Srila Prabhupada. He says something which is required. Very important, because when we are coming for prayer, it has to be very specific, very particular. What is it that Prabhupada says in this conversation? So this, pay attention. There is a guest who comes to Prabhupada and he's saying, so you are saying that there is a process by which you can see the other world. We all know that there is a spiritual world. Natad bhasayate suryo na sasankana pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Krishna says there is a spiritual world which is beyond this material creation. Once you go there, you will not come back. Yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So the guest is asking, so you are saying that there is a process by which you can see the other world. Prabhupada says, yes, yes. Then the guest says, okay, does this take a whole lifetime to learn on, or what? Prabhupada says it takes 1 minute. How much time you have spent so far? Not just today. Prabhupada says it just takes 1 minute, and he's laughing. If you are serious. If you are serious. If you are serious, it will not be understood. If you are not serious, it will not be understood even millions of years. That is the fact. Many people come with their own agenda. With something, prasad रहेगा, चलो जल्दी कैसे खत्म करेगा, कब होगा, लेके चले जाएंगे, बच्चे को लेके बस हो गया. No, that seriousness. What is required is the rarest of rare thing is serious to be engaged in devotional service. So the guest is telling, oh, I see. It's so simple then. Prabhupada is saying, if you are serious, then it is a 1 minute's business. And if you are not serious, it is not fulfilled in millions of years. Again, he repeats that. So the guest says, okay, I see. So then a devotee asks a very important, pertinent question. What determines, Srila Prabhupada, if one is serious or one is not serious? What makes one? Prabhupada says, well, this seriousness comes after many, many births. It's not easy. Seriousness comes after many, many births. It is also not so easy. Rupa Goswami says, Tatra lolyam ekalam janma sahasra sukritirna labhyate. He wrote a verse, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate. Krishna bhakti, this Krishna consciousness, this thing, if you can purchase somewhere, just immediately purchase it. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mati kriyatam, just purchase. Yadi kutopi labhyate, it is the rarest of rarest. It doesn't come easily. So if you see that there is somewhere it is available, immediately you purchase it. Okay, so if it is that simple, so first of all, if you want to purchase, the things must be available. Yadi kutopi. Therefore, kutopi, if it is available, immediately purchase. The next question is, what is the value? What should I pay? What is the price I have to pay? Then he says, Tatra lolyam ekalam mulyam. Simply your serious eagerness to have it. That is the price. People come with zero interest. Zero. It's a torture for people to come to temple. Somehow somebody is forcing something, somehow some material benefits, ulterior this thing. That's how they come. No. Serious eagerness. I have been solidly cheated by this material world. There's a propaganda that, you keep buying, keep indulging, that consumption mentality where, you keep looking for the next hit, the next this thing. That is what we have been doing. So you need to have seriousness. Simply your serious eagerness to have it. That is the price. Oh, that I can have very easily. Prabhupada says, no. Na janma koti sukritirna labhyate. That lolyam, that seriousness is not obtained after thousands of years of pious activities. It is so difficult. People come for pious activity. They do some donation, they come, they stand, but they go. That eagerness to go back home, back to Godhead, to have that Krishna consciousness, it's not easy. It is so difficult. Na janma koti sukritirna labhyate. People are acting piously, but that kind of seriousness is not available even after executing pious activities for thousands of lives. So that seriousness is also very difficult, to become very serious that in this life I shall finish my business and go back home, back to Godhead. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante. After many, many years, a jnanavan mam prapadyante surrenders to me, and he's serious. He wants to finish this business this life. I don't want to go through the cycle of birth and death anymore. That seriousness is required. That is what a devotee should pray. That is what I should want. I should have that seriousness within me. How will I get that seriousness? Actually, I have not got the full conversation here, but Prabhupada gives the example of a great exalted devotee by name Bilwa Mangal Thakur. How many of you know about Bilwa Mangal Thakur? Three, four hands, okay. Those of you who do not know Bilwa Mangal Thakur, he is a very exalted devotee from South India. Very interestingly, there is one episode, just one episode which we will see, and then I'll go and talk about one episode about our the pastime of Akshaya Tritiya, and we'll finish with that. Very powerful. Just see that seriousness. So Bilwa Mangal Thakur, as some of you may know, may not know, was a rich man, and it so happened that his father's funeral ceremony was going on. The final rites of his father was going on, and he was talking to the priest to do it little quickly. There was an urgency. Quickly finish it. Quickly. I want to go. I want to finish it quickly. So by that, so he was haste. There was a haste. Prabhupada says he was asking him to hurry up. So why he was doing this? Because he used to go and regularly meet a prostitute. Every day he used to go without fail. So that day, even on the day of his father's final rites, when it is being performed, he was, he was in that haste. He was telling, hurry up, hurry up. So he goes, and that day, it was heavily raining. It was a heavy shower, heavy storm and all. Nobody would have gone in that kind of a heavy shower and all. But he was so desperate, so eager to, do this sense gratification business. He just wanted to go. And he went. When he went, that he found that, usually he crosses a river and goes to the other side. And he found that there was no boatman, there was no river, there was no boat, because it was raining heavily. Nobody was around. So he found there was something which was looking like a log, and he thought that it's a piece of log, and he swam and he went to the other side, only to realize when he reached the other end that it was a dead body. And then he went there, and he goes to the house of the prostitute's name was Chintamani. And Chintamani thought it is so much raining and it is already late, so she closed all her windows, doors and everything, and she shut everything. But the doors was closed, the window was open. So Bilwa Mangal Thakur, when he saw that the door was closed, he thought, how will I climb to that window, and through the window I will enter. So he saw that there was something which was hanging, and he thought it is probably some rope or something, and he caught that rope and he went inside the house of Chintamani, only to realize after having gone inside that it was a snake, a big python. So he entered into the house of Chintamani. And Chintamani, seeing, she was completely shocked, surprised. So she told, I was not expecting you to be here. How come you are here? How could I missed the opportunity to be with you in your association? Chintamani said, if this eagerness that you have to meet me, if that eagerness you have for Krishna, your life will be a success. That very moment, see what happens is, these are all the devotees who have tried in their life, as we see in Bhagavad Gita, Akshaya Tritiya, as I mentioned at the beginning, which cannot be perished. There is no end to this. There is no diminution. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Neha vikramo nasosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. The fact that you all have come to the temple, that little, this thing that you have done, it is going to protect you from the worst kind of danger. It is a fact. Whenever, whatever you, to the extent that you can do in this life, there is no loss, because you will start again from the next life from that same place where you lost. So the same thing happened. The moment he heard that, it struck him like a thunder. Immediately he left that place towards Vrindavan. But the senses are not easy to control, right? When he went, he was on his way to Vrindavan, he saw another woman and he started following her. And this lady was very chaste, very pure, and she was from a very poor background. And she went and informed it to her husband, saying that there is an aristocratic gentleman who's following me, and he's looking like a sadhu. I don't know why he's following, but he's been following me. So the husband comes out and asks, what do you want? So he was very direct. He said, I want to embrace and kiss your wife. And he goes and he tells his wife, you get yourself dressed and go and satisfy the desire of the man. And she comes out. At that time, Villamangal Thakur falls down at her feet and says, oh mother, can you give your hairpin? And he takes that hairpin and plucks his eyes. He plucks his eyes. To get Krishna is not easy. That seriousness is required. Lot of seriousness. Tivrena bhakti yogena. It's not a joke. It's not some kind of frivolous thing which is going on. We think, okay, theek hai. No, I need to be very serious. That is an example of seriousness which Prabhupada quotes after this conversation. How much seriousness we need to have. But mind you, the moment you show that kind of a seriousness, Krishna comes. He's eagerly waiting. When this devotee will turn towards me? When will he realize that this material world is dukkhalayam asaswatam? This is not meant for gentlemen. Moment we take any step and we become serious, Krishna pulls us out. Classic example of this is this story, and we will stop this with this. As some of you mentioned about this pastime of Sudama and Krishna, right? What do we know about Sudama Krishna? What do we know? They were best friends, okay. Sudama was poor. Anybody else? और क्या पता है? क्या है सुदामा? आपके तो गुजरात से ही उधर गए थे ना, द्वारका. क्या मालूम है और सुदामा के बारे में? Very self-independent, okay, and not taking help from anybody. Okay, great. I was not expecting this. I would have thought you would have told, okay, he went, he asked for money, he gave me some money, and got some palace and came back. How many of you know that story, that version? We all know that, right? He was very poor, but he was friend of Krishna. He went there, Krishna saw him, okay, and then he brought some chipped rice, वो खाया, वो गया तो palace मिल गया. Correct? This version we all know. Bhagavatam gives very deep insight into this story. What people think, okay, so that means if I come, I give some chipped rice or anything, whatever I have, I don't have, whatever it is, Krishna will reciprocate. मेरे को भी palace मिल जाएगा, बड़ा घर जाऊंगा. Actually, if you read Bhagavatam, he says when he goes back, Sudama, when he goes back, he saw that in his in place of his rotten one small hut, there's a huge palace, and his wife is coming with all gold and nice new dress and all. He's coming running. So what is his name? Sudama is thinking, my wife or somebody else's wife? Who's this? And the children are also very royally dressed, regally dressed. My children or whose place is this? This is what he's thinking. Very interestingly, what we need to see from this pastime, what happened was, you see, the real wealth of a person is not how much of dollars he has in the bank account, how many cars he has, or how many houses he has. The real wealth, if you remember, when we are talking about Ramayana earlier, Lakshmana is Lakshmi Sampanna. Real wealth is the wealth of devotional service. You see, interesting aspect how Bhagavatam brings the character of Sudama, despite the fact that he was very poor, very downtrodden. We'll see some of the examples, one verse we will see how beautiful it is narrated. How poor he was, but he was not forgetting his duty of engaging in devotional service. He was not deterred, affected by the material situation that he's. It's okay, you sit down. He'll find. So the fact that I'm going through so much of difficulties in life. There is a poverty. He was not having even a full-time meal. One-time meal also he was not having. Whatever is begged, something is coming, then he's fine. If it is not there, he's also fine. But still, Hari Bhajan, no hela, no what do you call? No negligence. Strong determination. That is what we need to see. And when he was coerced by his wife, go no, Dwarkadhish तुम्हारा your friend. What are you doing here? खाने के नहीं है इधर तुम जाओ कुछ तो लेके आओ. Finally, when so much, his wife told, he went, but not with the intention of getting some money from Lord. Just the fact that I'll get a darshan. I will see the Supreme Lord. Sudama, when he was in the same Gurukul of Sandipani, where Krishna had gone, Krishna learned all the 64 arts in 64 days. And there was one day when both of them were struck in a forest where they had gone to fetch firewood. They could not come back. They were sitting in the branch of a tree, same branch of a tree, and they were exchanging some chipped rice. Those intimate things Krishna remembers. And then after that, when the education was over, Krishna went his path. He was a Kshatriya, he was sent by Vasudeva and Devaki, and this poor Brahmana went his path. After many, many years, when this Sudama reaches the palace of Krishna, it's a very interesting thing. Oh my God. If you read Bhagavatam, you'll have tears in your eyes. I'm telling you, it's so wonderfully described. This person, he was wearing so torn clothes, nobody was able to recognize. Hey, who are you? Get out of this place. Krishna said, one of my friends, my devotee has come. Please fetch him. Please bring him. Nobody is able to recognize. There's this fellow, he's there. He's not going out of his own fear. This is such a big palace. My friend Krishna, I don't know if he will recognize. He's not going. Krishna himself ran. Krishna ran and brought him inside. And as you can see in this picture, he is washing his feet. And he'll put that, thing in his head, Charanamrit, whatever, the washed water he'll sprinkle on his head. The Rukmini Devi, Krishna's wife, who's Lakshmi herself, will be fanning this Brahmana. There's a verse which comes, not this one, this example. Kuchailam malinaha kasmam dvijam dhamani santatam devi Pariyacharat sakshat chamara vyanjanena vai. Kuchailam malinam kshamam. Kuchairam means my dress. His dress was so, it was not just old, it was not just torn, it was just, you just can't even believe that somebody is wearing that kind of a Kuchailam, malinam. Malinam is dirty. Kshamam, dvijam, dhamani santatam. You see sometimes some people who are so anorexic, their dhamani, the veins, the bones, everything you can see, right? He was sitting in that condition, kuchailam, malinam, kshamam, dvijam, dhamani santatam. Even the veins are visible. But what is happening? Devi prayacharat sakshat. Personally, the Lakshmi herself is doing this chamara. Sakshat chamara vyanjanena vai. By fanning him with her chamara, the divine goddess of fortune personally served that poor Brahmana, whose clothing was torn, dirty, and who was so thin that veins were visible all over his body. And in that time, Krishna saw that Krishna is asking, you have come from so far distance. Have you brought anything for me? And this poor Sudama, he was trying to hide what he has brought. How can I give this chipped rice to my friend Krishna, who's the proprietor of this thing, such a big palace he has. How can I give? He was trying to hide. Krishna snatched that from him and took few morsels of that chipped rice. That few morsels of chipped rice that Krishna took, Rukmini Devi had to stop. Enough. If you take one more, everything, I'll be also gone. It's over. This is the difference. Actually, people say Krishna himself is opulent, but his devotees are poor. It is not true. Materially they may be poor, but Krishna always bestows them with the spiritual opulence, the real opulence which we lack. That opulence, that seriousness that I should practice this devotion and go back home, back to Godhead. Krishna makes arrangement for a person who really needs that material opulence. He gets it, like it happened in the case of Sudama. But he was not affected by it. Had it happened to us, maybe the moment we come back and we see, wow, what a palace, this is my house, wow, let me enjoy now, right? That kind of a thought will come. He knows whom to give, who will not get affected, who will not lose their real spiritual wealth, the spiritual wealth of devotional service. Actually, you see the mood. This is a contrast where, after having gotten all those opulences, what is the mood inside this Sudama? He's telling, Kwaham daridraha papiyan, Kva Krishna Sri Niketanaha, Brahma Bandhur iti smaham, Bahubhyam parirambhitaha. Kwaham daridra papi. Kwaham, who am I? What is my position? I am a Daridra, I am a poor fellow, Papi, I am a sinful guy. Ko Krishna Sri Niketana. Where is Krishna? He's the husband of, the goddess of fortune. Ko Krishna Sri Niketana. Brahma Bandhur iti smaham. I'm not even a Brahmana. Actually, I'm just born in the family of a Brahmana. I'm a Brahma Bandhu. I don't have the qualification of a Brahmana. Iti smaham. Despite knowing this, Bahu Bhyam Parirambhita. Krishna embraced me. Actually, Krishna's embrace is not a small thing, not an ordinary thing. Great exalted people also don't get this embrace. So he's thinking in his heart. He didn't know. He didn't ask even anything. He just went. He gave that, and he came back very happy that he could meet Krishna. He had no idea. But this embrace, he's remembering. Oh my God, Krishna! What is his position? Still, he embraced me. This is what is the position of the Lord in our life. Nobody can become poor by coming towards Krishna. Nobody can become poor by donating, by giving in charity to Krishna. As it happened, simple chipped rice. But in return, Krishna fills his heart, fills his life with all material opulence. So on this day of the most auspicious Akshaya Tritiya, where we want to start something fresh, new, auspicious, when we want to take a vow, what we should pray for? We should pray that I should have that sincerity in our heart. I should have that seriousness in my heart to go back to home, back to Godhead, and not fall prey to all these materialistic allurements and these attractions. That should be our goal. That seriousness is not easily obtained. That's not a small thing. That one seriousness, if we get it, our life is success. So we will have now Kirtan. Any comments, any thoughts, any reflections? Any question? Srila Prabhupada ki. Okay. You can use that mic so that others can hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So
Vairagya.
Vairagya. So usually in that stage of people, I mean, they tend to, I mean, those desires, like kind of, so they lose. You know, if I give an example of my own parents, like when they are in when they were making us grow up, they used to sacrifice a lot.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the now they are old, so at that time they what my thought is, like they have to leave the materialistic thing and do
They're
more of
forced to leave now
yeah.
because
So
they're old.
yeah, they do, but not that I never seen like how I think as a god. They do, yes, a namesake might be, and why the the still the materialistic thing will be stay at the end a lot of, I mean, like at the end of, like after 40 or 60, 80, the age is to go back to God. So in that age, the intense of materialistic thing, I need
Still,
to
it
have
doesn't go. It doesn't die.
yeah, and it becomes more.
Yeah.
When in 40s they might be sacrificing a lot for kids. When it comes to 80,
So your question
they,
is why it is, why they
yes,
don't
why
get.
why they
Okay.
after 80 they tends to have, I want to have more for a bank balance or like kind of a security. Why that comes, like
Okay.
thank you.
So yeah, the question is good, but what you are able to see in your parents at their ripe age, it is not that only at that age they have these desires. These desires are always there. It is there within us also. But it is more prevalent when we are looking at somebody else. In their life, in their heart, it is more easily visible to us. We don't see our own these things. We have also equally same amount of desires. We also go through the same lifestyle, and we also, it is not like once I become old, I'm not able to do. Now I'll, my material desires will die down. No, they don't leave us. Why? I've been serving them so faithfully. Why they are not going? Because the more you try to satisfy, the more it comes out. It's like putting ghee in the fire and expecting the fire to get extinguished. May get extinguished for time being, then it will come out with double intensity. That's what exactly it is. Material desires do not go just because you have become old, just because you are going through some material problems. No. Somebody who's going through some lot of problems, you think, okay, now naturally he'll develop some vairagya. No. Because the processing of this information in our life, the incidents in our life, we need to see it through the spiritual vision. Scriptural vision is required to process this. Otherwise, naturally, if I'm just going through some problems in life, now my health issues there, my in-laws are not well, this thing, that thing, so many things are going on. Still, there'll be no vairagya. Detachment doesn't come. That requires the mercy of a pure devotee, association of devotees, sadhu, guru, sadhu, sastra. Then you can process those information in your life in the right way. By themselves, the material adversities will not develop detachment in your life. They can't generate. Unless one knows how to process that or sees that with the vision of the scriptures, it will not happen. We need mercy of pure devotee. One small drop, the mercy of pure devotee, will help us see things in a different way. Yeah. No. So the question is valid because you are able to see in somebody's life, and you don't want to be in that same shoes when you reach their thing. What you have to do, forget about that age, because we don't know whether we will be there till 70, 80. Who knows, right? We will not be knowing. Right now, one has to become serious. How will you become serious? How will you get rid of material desire? The moment you say, okay, I will not look into something bad, I will not hear anything, you can't live in this world. It is, there is propaganda everywhere. You have to develop higher taste. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjyam rasopyasya param društva nivartate. If you are eating some stale food, pakhala and whatever, old stuff, for many, many days you've been eating, one fine day you got the art of getting freshly cooked food. You will not go to that stale food anymore. You need to have this fresh food. You need to develop a taste in devotional service. That taste, once it is developed, automatically this will go, this material desires. Otherwise it is not. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. You may try to artificially restrain yourself, I'll not indulge, but the desire is still there in the heart. Just because there is no opportunity or you're trying to control, you've not got rid of them completely. Only when you develop good taste, higher taste, you'll be able to overcome this. Thank you all for attending. Now we will have Arati. I request all of you to participate in this Hare Krishna Kirtan nicely. As I said, you have come on a very auspicious day. Pray to the Lord to develop that seriousness, that you don't want to get into the cycle of birth and death anymore. And that is possible simply by this process of chanting Hare Krishna, which has been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Wonderful process. You don't have to do anything. Just have faith and conviction in this process. Chant wherever you are, whichever situation you are in, and you will make progress in your spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada ki, Akshaya Tritiya Mahamahotsav ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur.
Kiba Jaya, Jaya, Gaura Chande, Arati Ka Shobha.
Kiba Jaya, Jaya, Gaura Chande,
Kiba Jaya, Jaya, Gaura Chande, Arati Ka Shobha.
Kiba Jaya, oh Jaya, Gaura Chande, Arati Ko Shobha.
Janavi Tatavane Jagamana Lobha.
Jagamana Lobha.
Janavi Tatavane Jagamana Lobha.
Jana Vitadavane Jagamana Lobha.
Kiba Dakhine Nitai Chan Vame Gadhadara.
Kiba Dakhine Nitai Chan Vame Gadhadara.
Kiba Dakhine Nitai Chan Vame Gadhadara. Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachhatradhara.
Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachhatradhara.
Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachhatradhara.
Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachhatradhara.
Kiba Boshi Ache Gaurachan Ratna Simhasane.
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 Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane Arati
Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane
Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane
Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gane
Kiba Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Dhulaya
Nararia Digori Samara Dhulaya
Kiba Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Dhulaya
Kibanara Hari Adi Kori Samara Dhulaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghoshadi Gaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghoshaya Vigaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghoshadi Gaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Ghoshaya Vigaya
Kima Shankha Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Shankha Bhaje Ghanta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Kiva Shankha Bhaje Ghanta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala
Kiba Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Baje Karta
Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala
Paramarsala
Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala
Paramarsala
Shankha Bhaje Ghanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankha Bhaje Ghanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje Shankha Bhaje Ghanta Bhaje Madhur 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 Bhaje
Shankha Baje Ghanta Baje Madhur 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 Baje
Nitya Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Nitya Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitya Gaur Hari Bol
Kiva Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjvala Bahu
Koti Chandradini Madana Ujjvala
Kiva Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujjvala
Kiba Bahu
gala deshe bana mala kore jhala mala
gala deshe bana mala kore jhalmala
gala deshe bana mala kore jhalmala
gala deshe bana mala kore jhalmala
Shiva Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada
Shiva Shuka Narada Premi Gada
Shiva Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Gada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada
Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada
Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Nisai Gauranga, Jaya Nisai Gauranga, Nisai Gauranga, Jaya Nisai Gauranga, Jaya
Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nisai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha. Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa.
Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bhringa.
Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha, Jai.
Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha Dev.
Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha Dev.
Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha Dev.
Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa.
Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bhringa.
Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa.
Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bhringa.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlada Lada Dahine.
Prahlada Lada Dahine.
Prahlada Lada Dahine.
Prahlada Lada Dahine.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
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 Shilatankanakhalai.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shilatankanakhalai.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
To Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha.
Yato Yato Yami Tato 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 Narsimha.
Bahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha.
Bahe Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha.
बाहि नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो
बाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा
बाहि नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो
बाहि नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
तव कर कमलवरे नाखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
तव कर कमलवरे नाथा अद्भुत श्रृंगार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय केशवदत्ता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय जगदीश जय जगदीश जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय जगदीश जय जगदीश जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
जय विघ्न विनाशा जय नरसिंहदेव विघ्न विनाशा जय नरसिंहदेव
जय विघ्न विनाशा
सर्व
जय
विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
विघ्न विनाशा जय नरसिंहदेव
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव
जय भक्तवत्सला जय नर हरि भक्तवत्सला जय नर हरि
जय भक्तवत्सला जय नर हरि भक्तवत्सला जय नर हरि
जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
नीताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नीताय गौर हरि बोल
टाइगर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल टाइगर हरि बोल
Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Sansthapak Acharya, Savior of the whole world, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Nitya Lila Pravishta, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki. Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki. Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki. Jagannath Puri Kshetra ki. Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai ki. Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Chandra ki. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki. Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki. Shri Srinivas Govinda ki. Shri Prahlada Narsimha Deva ki. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vranda ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories and glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.